and I intend to touch your heart today. And I have a wonderful guest, and you're probably all aware of her, Karen Hayes.
Good morning, I'm doing great. Hanging in there.
Well, let me first extend a warm welcome to you. And how are you and your family doing this morning?
Well, thank you. We're actually doing okay. Thank goodness. Knock on wood. Everybody's healthy. We are doing our best to stay active, and I've got 3 girls, as you know, a dog, 2 guinea pigs. So, our house is full, and thank goodness we're all healthy. So thank you for asking. How about yourself? I'm
doing just fine. We're hanging in there, and my husband's doing just well. I think he's getting cabin fever, but that's okay. And anyway, what I want to ask you, we have the young at heart, our seniors, and they're beloved, and I want to know what the city's doing for them.
So there's thankfully so much going on, and we're trying to prepare and help that it changes every day. But basically, what we've done is from day one, the senior center was actually the first to close in the city because of obvious reasons. I was very concerned about that population. So we closed down, but we always had our phones open, and they still are. So our staff is answering phones at home, and we answer emails. So any connections that we've had with our seniors that come to the building, and they've been calling, we've been answering their questions, so they feel connected that way. I've also have a Facebook page for the John and Christina Markey Senior Center on Facebook. And then we branched out to our partners, of course, the Steve Finn, the director of the Malden Housing Authority, and Dan O'Leary from the Mystic Valley Elder Services, to be sure that we were all on the same page with the connections to our seniors. So all the seniors that are in housing and connected to us and Mystic Valley have been covered. And then we had to try and figure out how to catch the seniors, how to fill that gap with the other seniors that aren't connected in that way. So that took some thought, and gratefully, the answers usually do come, I say, always from the ground up. And so what happened was there was this fantastic group of residents that came together as volunteers and tried to build a network to reach out not only to seniors, but anyone who needed help. But we started with the seniors, and that is Malden Neighbors, helping Malden Neighbors. And then there was also people on the outside calling in. Dee Campbell from Health 4, like the number 4, Malden, was also doing work trying to reach out to seniors. So she was contacting the counselors and contacting us with Mass Senior Action Council. So basically what I did was reach out and connect everybody. So that's the community, outreach position part of my job. So we all now connected under one database and one group of volunteers, and that's how we're going to go out and reach out to that gap that we missed.
Well, let me ask you, if people want to get involved, this is for COVID-19, and if they want to get involved, is there a place that they can go to? Is it through you, or is it through the city?
It is not. No, it's basically, it really is the community. This is a community effort. So, and I'm involved, thankfully, from my city position. So I help connect them with city resources. So there's a number of ways to get in touch. And like I said, we kind of all pooled into one place for all of our help. And that is, there's a couple of ways to get in touch. They really did think a lot about seniors and maybe some who didn't have a computer. So the first way is there's a website, which is great. It has all the information on it, and that is MaldenNeighbors.org. So all one word, MaldenNeighbors.org. And there you can sign up to volunteer, but you can also sign up to receive help. So there have been people who have signed up for a whole variety of things. A lot of seniors, though, have gotten on here. And I personally have gone out and picked up like medications for seniors, or if they needed food, they can sign up for that, and volunteers will pick some food up and bring it to them. Masks, just someone to talk to, dog walking. I mean, there's just so many things on there that you can sign up for. So the website is one, and then the other, they do have a phone number. So in case seniors don't have access, we've put people out to the phone number, and they can call 339-224-4842 and leave a message, and someone would call them back and help them get whatever it is that they need.
Could you please repeat that number again, please?
Sure. It is 339-224-4842, and you'll hear a message that tells you reached the right place, and then, neighbors helping neighbors, Malden neighbors helping neighbors, and then leave your name and what your need is, and someone will call you back.
Oh, I think that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And is there, now I have to ask this question, is there a particular group that is just simultaneous, it's called tradition, going out and delivering meals? Because my husband actually received a week's worth of meals out of the blue.
Yes. So that was Mystic Valley Elder Services actually contacted me and asked if we had volunteers to help them, because what happened was they normally deliver like Meals on Wheels, and then they were getting other contacts for their meals, and they didn't have enough of their staff. People were either seniors, some were sick, some were self-quarantining for health reasons. So they reached out, and I connected them with Malden Neighbors Helping Malden Neighbors. Actually, it was Dida Ortiz who helped with this group. And then what happened was we put a call out, and this group put a call out, and volunteers showed up at Mystic Valley Elder Services in their parking lot, and each volunteer, after they were checked and all of our protocols, obviously were being followed with the distancing, and then we each picked up a week's worth of meals and delivered them to people so that they didn't have to do it like every day, frozen meals. So that's where that came from.
Wow. I think that was wonderful because we didn't know where it came from.
That's excellent. I love to hear that. It's been working. I have to say, this group is so organized. I haven't really seen an action this fast and take off like it has.
Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, you're welcome. From all of them.
Yes. Thank you very much. Now, is there any other area that people should be aware of that they can go to outside of this?
So, as far as helping, well, they can contact their city counselors. I know that a few counselors have reached out to us. So if they have a need, they can go first to their city counselors in their ward. And then I have heard personally from a few city counselors that we've helped out. So I know that I've heard from Amanda, Ward 3 counselor, also Ryan O'Malley, and Steve Winslow has been really on top of things, trying to help as much as he can. He actually was delivering some of those meals from Mystic Valley Elder Services. So those are the ones I personally, and I think I heard from Barbara Murphy might have reached out to me too, now that I'm thinking about it. So it's really been a community effort, but I would go there and then hopefully they could connect. But honestly, probably I would be the best one to reach out to, because I'm kind of like in the middle of all these different connections, so it's probably easier. And although I don't do everything to fix it, I can point you in the right direction. And I've been working out of my home, and I'm like right now I'm actually in the senior center. So you emailing me is the best way. It's Hayes, so it's KHAYES at cityofmalden.org.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Now, what about the people that do not speak English? How are they getting contacted, or who should they contact?
Right. So, a couple of things. On that website that I gave, on the top of it, you'll see a flag. It says English and the American flag. But then if you click on that, and we'll have language, it actually it translates then into, I believe we have 5 different languages up there right now. And as you were calling me, I got an email from Anna Jeffrey, who has been working nonstop with this group as well. She's a great community activist. I don't know if you remember her, but she also ran for school committee in her ward. But she just sent me a flyer. So now we're going to be putting flyers up around Malden just for people who might not know where to contact or call. And the flyers are in it looks like 6 different languages. So she has made a flyer, translated it into different languages, and it also has like a barcode. So if people had their phones, you can scan in and get to this website. So it's
wonderful,
fantastic.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
How about now? This is just for the seniors alone.
Yeah.
This is
No, this is for everybody.
for everyone. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Now, is there any more information that you would like to give out in this area?
So what I've been working on too, well, first, if you don't mind, I would like to give a shout out to those who are helping at the Malden Neighbors, helping the Malden Neighbors, because they've really been doing a great job. So I've been working with AJ Kumar and his wife, Mira, James, Nico, Kit Bridge, Anna Jeffrey, and Zaida Ortiz. So those are the people that have really been on the forefront of this. But I've also been moving to a different subject. I've also been on a regional phone call that is run by CHA, so Cambridge Health Alliance, and Renee Camerata Hamilton has put me in with this call, and that call is to help address overcrowding, homeless, our vulnerable populations, first responders and their families, they get sick. So that's been going on for a couple of weeks now. So that's been a huge effort by all the cities to try and locate a place where people, can go. We don't have a hospital, but we still might need, I'm trying to plan, we might need a place where, let's say somebody calls up and, I don't know, they have overcrowding in their apartment. It could be as simple as that, which other cities have already been getting phone calls on. So let's say there's roommates in their apartment. They may or may not be legally in there, but they are in there right now, and they get sick, and then they can't go back in there. Where are they going to go? I mean, this is a public health emergency, so we all need to be looking out for each other right now, because it's just going to help everybody in the long run. So also first responders, right? You have a first responder. They're out there, whether it be a nurse, the police, the firefighters, EMTs. They get sick, or they're going into places, obviously, that they could get, they could be bringing it home to their families. So they might want a place where they can stay and not bring it home to their families. So that's another thing that we've been trying to work offline on finding a place like a hotel or anywhere, or for sick, our sick people, our homeless people, to go if they get sick. So these are all things that are taking tremendous amounts of work, but Cambridge Health Alliance pulled together people from Somerville, Chelsea, Malden, Revere, and Everett, and Cambridge. And then we've been speaking daily with Captain Cronin, who actually has been on the call with me. So it's been a daily call, but now, thankfully, MAPC has stepped in, and they're going to start hosting these regional calls. They have a lot more experience with this, and so hopefully we're going to work something out where we can partner with our neighboring cities, since, that's what it's going to take now. Collaboration is what it's all about.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do they have a place in mind?
So right now, on the last phone call that we were on, I think that they were going to speak. The next phone call was going to be with Lieutenant Governor Polito to discuss directing resources to municipalities. And the last time when I was on the phone, they had focused on the Quality Inn in Revere. And that's what it looked like they were going to work on. But that was Cambridge and Somerville, I believe, are the ones that were on that phone call. And Cambridge has a much bigger homeless population than we do. So they've already have things up and running. They have tents already set up, and they've been on it from like day one. So we're hoping, to have something, or at least be able to be connected in there. Although my fear is that they're going to fill up pretty quickly. So, my hope is that Malden looks for its own smaller, places for when those, the ones in Cambridge and the Quality Inn, there's only 100 rooms. So my fear is that's going to fill up quick.
Okay. At this point, would you like to chime in what people should be doing at this point, here and now? Because I know it changes hour by hour.
Yeah. Yeah. So personally, like in their homes, obviously they're going to be following, staying in, trying to not go out unless it's absolutely necessary. But to tune in, I would say that if you have access to any computers or even on your phone, keep checking the city's website because they've been updating things as soon as they get them. That's probably the one place where you're going to get the information from Malden specific. So that's the www.cityofmalden.org. And the other, honestly, I would join Malden Neighbors. Helping Malden Neighbors has a Facebook page. They've been great, and I've been putting my updates on there as I get them. It's my view. Like, I really think that the more information people have, even if it's not 100% like approved yet, or I like to tell people what we're working on. So it sounds like, they can have confidence in their leaders that, we're working on things. All right. We might not have it out there yet, but just because you haven't heard about it, it doesn't mean we're not working on it. And I think that really does settle people and that let them know that we're on it.
I know washing your hands 20 seconds. If you don't have that, what else would you suggest?
Yeah, so washing your hands. So the masks now, I know you probably heard too that we've been told now to wear a mask all the time when you're leaving the house. And that's a little different than in the beginning of this whole thing where they were saying not to wear a mask. So now to wear them, and maybe rubber gloves. And I forgot to mention that we do actually have masks in here. And this is a huge thing. I should have mentioned this. From day one, this senior center has been used as a hub for drop-offs for masks that people have been making, or maybe that they bought and now want to donate back to the city. The Chinese Culture Connection has been huge. They've been dropping off things, and I've been working with Eva, who has come every day to drop off masks and then deliver them. And also my do had dropped off the masks as well. So we've been taking masks here. So if people do need a mask to go out, they can contact me. And I've been storing some here, but most have gone off to Cambridge Health Alliance and Melrose Wakefield Hospital to, protect the nurses and the doctors, obviously.
I see. Any more that you would like to add in that area?
I don't think so. Probably the washing the hands and, social distance. I hate saying that. Physical distancing, because social distancing is so hard for a lot of people. That's a whole other area. When people are home alone, especially if they have, issues already with either anxiety or depression. This is a scary time. So they could also check in. A lot of our local interfaith organizations are holding online services, which has been great. So I think just, washing your hands, following everything that you're hearing on the news, making sure you stay up to date because they change so often. checking in, calling, sometimes a human voice, call the senior center. It's 781-397-7144. And Cheryl Spinella has actually been answering our phone, so at least you get a human voice. We're not, putting things to voicemail. So if you have any questions, and then she's been reaching out to me. If she can't answer them, I'll answer them.
Well, I wanted to ask now, do you need volunteers at the senior center to answer those phone calls?
No, we've been doing everything offline, at home. We're not the building is closed technically, so our IT department basically transferred the phone calls to our houses to the cell phones. So they've been answering them from home. So no, we don't need people here. We're going to have a few volunteers from the Malden Neighbors group here who are going to be collecting items because we are a hub, and I really think that we're going to find a bigger need in the upcoming weeks. So we're going to start collecting things here other than just the mass, like non-perishable foods. And actually, a lot of people in our community, this is something that's just warms my heart, has been reaching out to help us. So some of the food groups, the food trucks, that group has reached out to us. Kevin Duffy has been pushing kind of businesses here to me who want to donate, whatever they have for food. I know Hoff Bakery is going to drop off some stuff here. And then I think it's Hot Tot Malden. They've been great. And they're going to come and actually make fresh meals, and we're going to deliver them out to people who need them based on our volunteers.
Is that part of Bread of Life?
No, they're actually, the Bread of Life is up and running, so I'm glad that you said that. This is actually, the food truck that you see always parked in that building that's on it?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I got it. It's Stock Pot Malden.
Yes.
So they're the ones, they're actually going to have their food truck be able to make hot meals that we can deliver to people, and we're going to store some to have a nice refrigerator, which is great. And I believe the first round, we're not sure, we don't have a list of that many people who aren't being served by other food sources, but so we're hoping to deliver them to either hospitals, our police, our firefighters, some fresh meals over to them. So that's also in the works coming out of the senior center here.
That's wonderful to hear. In the meantime, I want to give a shout out for the first responders,
Yes.
for the police, and for the city workers here, because they've been there, and for you, Karen, too, as well.
Yeah.
And also for the people at the food markets that I saw that the other day. That's a lot of work. And
Yes. Grocery workers, all of them.
Yes. Now, if somebody has an issue at home and they really feel stressed, is there anybody that they can call?
So let's see. It depends on your meaning of the word stress. So if you're just if you're feeling a little anxious and you want to talk to somebody, you can call Malden Neighbors, Helping Malden Neighbors, and there are people who signed up. We actually have social workers who signed up there, so they would try and put your calls out to them. You can call churches also, but if you're meaning like something clinically, I would call the doctor first. Call if you don't have a therapist or you don't have somebody that you're working with, call your primary care. And hopefully they can, connect you with a professional. But as far as talking to somebody and just wanting to have like a human being, I would call Malden Malden Neighbors, Helping Malden Neighbors. And excuse me, I have allergies, so right now is a rough time to have allergies because everybody looks at you when you're coughing or clearing your throat.
No, that's what I was talking about. So that's good to know that people can...
So if you sign up for this Malden Neighbors, Helping Malden Neighbors, on it, I believe we have some pastors who signed up on there, and people who I know that like Emily, Pastor Emily has been fantastic. So she does live Facebook you can join in, but they've signed up. So let's say somebody just puts on there, I need to speak with someone. I need a human, I'm feeling anxious. They'll connect you with the right person. They really thought of everything. I'm so impressed.
Yeah. That's wonderful to know. See, these are good things for people in the community to know that they can reach out and there's help out there. I think Malden has done a wonderful job, and I think that you really done a wonderful job. I assume that they have people that probably are writing notes and sending them to people, or just giving a call somewhere.
Oh, yeah. So that is actually happening with, so Dee Campbell reached out to us through Mass Senior Action Council. So what she had tried to coordinate, and I believe it's working, and Debbie DeMaria, Councilor DeMaria, helped her with this, which is they got approval to get from Mass Senior Action Council some type of call list of our seniors. So, I mean, thousands of names in Malden of our seniors. So what they're doing now is making a database, and they are spreading those phone calls up. So really, people are going to be getting phone calls. Like, they don't even have to call out. People are going to be checking in on them. So we've been working together to do that. So, like, a senior will pick up the phone, and it'll just be us saying, how you doing? You need anything? Just checking in. And that is, like, hopefully starting this week. It's been, like, as you can imagine, that was logistically very hard to put that together.
But at least it's being done. Just to know that somebody cares about you, and some of them, let's face it, some of them are alone. So that is a wonderful thing to know. Anything else that you would like to add? I'm sure people would love to hear from you.
So I think that personally, like to get out and get some fresh air, not in places, like if you have a backyard or even on your sidewalk. I have to admit that being inside a house all the time, I feel cooped up. So sometimes just walking onto your front step or, I don't know, opening a window, something to try and get fresh air would be good. Like, I don't suggest obviously going out or going anywhere, but if you can do that, that's great. And trying to, check on your neighbors. If you can do that, check on your neighbors. Just now's the time to really kind of go back old school. Hopefully people know their neighbors. If not, give them a call if you can. I think you can. I'm trying to think now how you would do that. Maybe if you ring a doorbell, you don't have to go in. You step back and just kind of introduce yourself 6 feet away. Now's the time. And if you know somebody of a senior, call them yourself. Make sure, don't assume that somebody else has already done that.
Well, if you live in a housing building, you can press a button and say hello.
That's right. Yeah, I was trying to think, like, okay, if I lived in a apartment building, how we do that. But you're right. That's as simple as that. Yeah. Do something fun to occupy your time. Maybe draw something, put it out on your door that people can see when they walk by. I know in my house, what we did, we have a little small library that actually Naomi Brave and Clay Larson turned into a small library from my daughter's her dollhouse, which was fantastic. And we cleaned all our books, cleaned that all out, sterilized it, and then put it out on my front lawn. And it's been awesome watching people come and share books with gloves, and they clean it off too, and have been picking up other things to do. I left some crafts out there, and I know a parent came and picked it up, and their daughter ended up doing it at home. Just little things to try and occupy your time, as long as it's safe and we're disinfecting it. Like I saw somebody opening it up with wipes and gloves. I thought that was great. But, little things we drew on chalk on the sidewalks, and then people were taking, answering in their chalk. I mean, it's just, little things like that.
Yeah, certainly this is a time where we're not, we're using technology, but yet we're coming back together as people.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And I am a very social person. So, I've built up a relationship with our neighbors, and, we do block parties as it is. But now would be the time to think, you know what? I should probably do that. You never know when you're going to need to call on your neighbors.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah.
So, Karen, I love this time with you. You're a wealth of information. And we'll be doing this again, I'm sure, because I'm sure you're going to have a lot of update.
Yes, I know. And I hope I can say at some point what we're going to do after this is all over. But I appreciate you reaching out to me, Josephine. You're always great to work with. So thank you so much.
Well, yes, you're great to work with, and I enjoy hearing everything you have to share. And a shout out to the neighbors helping neighbors, and shout out to Karen. Thank you very much, and all those volunteers out there. And again, to the first responders, and the nurses, and the doctors, and the police officers, and a shout out to the mayor of Malden too. I know he's working hard. And again, this is Josephine, and first of all, thank you, Karen. And I will be seeing you face to face, Karen, soon.
Very soon.
Yes, and this is Josephine of Let Me Tell You Something. And as always, I leave you with a very nice song.